Okay, welcome back. We are at part 4 of the guide, so thank you for tuning in. We've made some actual interesting changes to the build since the last video. So I was playing a Rain of Arrows build. As you can see here, I've got obviously my 4-link Rain of Arrows equipped, Val Rain of Arrows. I've got obviously, bow and arrow, but I was getting a bit bored with this build. So what I've done is I've respec'd a couple of my passive points to now look like this. Last time we had some more nodes here, going into more damage with your bow, some more movement speed. We had some life and mana leech, and we went for this point break ability that's down here. We've now made some changes, so we're now going for a different ability called Kinetic Blast of Clustering. So it's if you look here, it says that it's an attack projectile AoE and does physical damage. So it's a different ability I've never actually used before, but I wanted to try something a little bit different than what I'm used to, kind of go out of my comfort zone, just so I can show you guys kind of how easy it is to switch from one build to another. So I got this chest piece yesterday when I was recording. I managed to get a 4 blue link setup on it with Kinetic Blast of Clustering, which I had to buy off the trade website. It cost me about 80k, so this isn't a very cheap league starting gem. I got some physical to lightning support, sacred wisp support, and increased critical damage support. I then picked up Spell Slinger and Tornado. I'm just going to quickly show off basically how it works. I also did pick up these 2 wands for 1 chaos each. They give me some great physical damage, some increased attack speed, and crit strike chance as well. Everything else on the build is still exactly the same as where I left off last time, but we're just going to basically be running through this build a little bit differently now. So I was getting a bit bored of Rain of Arrows, like I said, so I think this is just going to be a more fun option for me. So we're going to go ahead now. We're in Act 4. So where we left off in Part 3, we just finished the Trial of Ascendancy. I picked up the Whisperer Ascendancy. If you're watching this in any other league that isn't the Freesia League, you don't actually... These are just like... these Ascendancies are only for this event. So if you're looking at this build and thinking, well, this isn't anything I can follow... unless GGG put it into the main game, this is just like the one-time event. But I went for the Whisperer. I got some attack damage and some mana, and I got some minimum frenzy and power charges, which basically increases my attack speed and also gives me some critical strike chance. So we're in Act 4. We just need to first go down and collect a flag from one of the zones. I am excited to try this build out because I only literally did one zone of it yesterday, so I don't actually know the full scale of its damage or anything just yet. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you. It does look a little bit more fun, this build. Oh yeah, this looks a lot more fun. This is more up my street now. So I'm hoping to get some extra movement speed on my boots because let's see this damage on magic mobs. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we've got some yellow beasts here. Nice. So this ability scales well with having an additional projectile, which I did try to pick up on the skill tree. Let's see the damage. Yeah, it's pretty decent damage. It's not crazy, but this ability scales pretty well. What I can also do is I can remove now this bow and this quiver because it's not actually anything that I need. Make sure I've got everything on. So this ability, Kinetic Blast of Clustering, if I de-equip Spell Slinger, you can see all it does is shoot off this one projectile. If I've got this Spell Slinger that's linked in with Tornado, I equip that, and every half a second it says you will trigger spells when you fire a wand and projectile. So when I fire that projectile, which is this, if it hits the Tornado, it does this big cluster of damage, and that's basically the ins and outs of this build. It's very simple to do if you just get that setup done. So all of my gems are obviously quite a low level, so my DPS should increase as I get a little bit more damage, a little bit more levels on the gems. We're just going to play through and just have some fun with this build. Actually, I'm enjoying it a little bit more already. I do need to get a shield and get some shield dash ability, because of the cast speed that I've got. I should be flying around the map pretty quick, to be honest. It's really good at clear speed, but going against bosses, I don't think it's got that crazy damage. But Rain of Arrows wasn't really a bossing build anyway. It was more a clear speed build, so I'm happy with what I've got at the moment. But like I said, we're going to be leveling up these gems as we go. And what we could do is just try out how good this is with the Legion. Legion's always a good indicator of how much clear, how good your clear speed actually is. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, you can see the single target damage isn't great. We may struggle on some bosses, but I am following a build guide at the moment, and I like a YouTube video which is kind of showing me how it's meant to be played through the leveling process. Haven't watched all of it yet. I just got really excited to actually just play the build, so let's just get into it really. Some incubators. So incubators are a cool thing in Path of Exile. So you can get different types of incubators. Here I got a gem incubator. What you do is you right click this, you socket it onto a weapon or onto a piece of armor, and it says here 3 out of 1,563 kills. Once you get those kills, it'll drop a gem for me. So let's follow my build guide here, because I don't know exactly where I'm meant to be going. I should be heading down this way. I need to head up here into this part of the tree to pick up this, which is Mind Over Matter, and it says 40% of damage is taken from mana before life, and I'm basically going to be stacking as much mana as I can in this build. Yeah, the damage isn't bad at all, to be honest. It's all about the clear speed on this, but the video that I've been watching is said on there that it's kind of like endless possibilities for the damage at end game, and I was looking for something that has a little bit more of a range of damage towards the end game, and I think Rain of Arrows didn't really offer that. So I'm quite happy I've made the switch, especially a little bit earlier on. Okay, so we picked up the flag from that boss. There is a crafting recipe there if it's your first time playing, so feel free to grab that crafting recipe. We've got the banner, so we've got the banner now, and now we've got to head over here to the mines, and we open up the mines. In this zone, it's the first time you're going to encounter the new league mechanic. Well, I say new league mechanic if this is your first time playing, and this is Nico's mining encampment. So around when you're running through the zone, you will see little nodes on the ground. Oh, nice, a unique dropped. Sun leather, nothing good for me at the moment. So instead of now, I'm looking for instead of bows now that I was playing with, I'm now looking for wands. So this is now more of a wanding setup. So we're looking for blue gem sockets instead of green. But again, this build guide obviously will differ a lot more now compared to what I was playing before. So feel free to still carry on playing Rain of Arrows if you were following along. Oh, there we go. We just dropped a wand there. Yeah, if you still want to play the Rain of Arrows build, it's completely viable, especially as a league starter. You're just looking for bows. And if you check the description in the first 3 videos, it'll still tell you exactly the path you need to take on the Atlas skill tree. So you won't feel like you don't know what you're doing. You just literally follow the tree step by step. So you can see how much this upgrades our damage. So we're at 2588. If we level up these 3 gems, 26, 6. So leveling up the gems is going to definitely start increasing our DPS a little bit. We'll probably end up doing a little bit more damage when the gem levels out to where we are. Pick up any boots that we find. And I don't actually have to use Blood Rage now, because you can see we already have a minimum of 4 Frenzy Charges and 4 Power Charges. So Blood Rage was obviously giving us that chance to get those Frenzy Charges, but if we've already got a minimum of them sat at 4, we don't actually need to use Blood Rage, which is then helping us obviously not degen any HP, because it did have that degen, that downside to it, didn't it? Ooh, wow, that guy's big. I think I deserved that one. I wasn't really playing all that well. But that's how quick the game can kill you. So if you're playing hardcore, you've got to really, really watch out for things like that. Especially, you know, I wasn't really concentrating all that much. I was just trying to kill him as fast as I could. But I should have probably kept my range with him a little bit more. And there was a boss there as well. So we had a boss and a rare. So he hits very hard. So let's try and stay out of his way a little bit. Try and stay out of that melee range. And then we're here just to click that spirit. We then have to head back to town to speak to Tasuni. But before we do that, we're just going to try and find the waypoint in the next zone. And we'll kill this boss while we're here. I feel like if I'm in an enclosed area, I think I'm going to be doing more damage, because the projectile seems to be like bouncing off the walls instead of just an open area. So it is quite a high mana intense build as well, this is. So we are literally just trying to stack mana and dexterity, because when we do the next lab, the Trial of Ascendancy there is going to be giving us a big boost of damage for the dexterity that we have. This build does seem to come together the more times that we get into the Ascendancy tree. So that is something that we're going to try and push as early on as we can. So we've got a new skill point. We are going to try and head over to that node up there, the Mind Over Matter. We're going to run through some nodes here which are giving us resistances, some life, some extra mana as well. So I do have to ask, I hope you guys, you know, are you enjoying the guides so far? Do you feel like there's something that, you know, I'm missing? I've been watching guides for a long time anyway, you know, but I don't really compare myself to any other, like, you know, content creators, because obviously they're very experienced in this and I'm only just beginning. So I feel like I'm just trying to do justice to the videos by just putting out what I know. I'm not amazing at the game. I've played Path of Exile, you know, for a few years, but this game is so in depth. It would take probably another 10 years for me to learn half the stuff that some of these streamers have. Right, Val Rain of yeah, I can just de-equip these now, because I'm not going to be using these abilities now, and there's no point leveling them up, and it just frees up these gloves now. I can literally get rid of at any point. God, you can see without automation, this is how the ability works. It has to hit something before doing any damage. Whereas if I put the automation on, it, you know, it builds up that tornado and just knocks them down. So we found the waypoint. We're going to head back to Highgate now. We're going to speak to Tasuni.
Your path, I felt.
Take the Book of Skill.
You shall be
And it says talk to Oyun. Go ahead, level that up there. Oyun. So we've got a chance to get a golem. Golems are good. They're like little summonable pets that you can get, and they each give you something different. So Ice Golem gives critical strike chance. Chaos Golem grants additional physical damage reduction, which is pretty good. Lightning Golem gives increased attack and cast speed. We're definitely going to go for that one. So I'll set my Golem here. Now, obviously, they do die, so you just have to kind of keep spawning them if they do. Oh, went the wrong way. Going up this way. Okay, so straight back to the crystal veins. We just went back to town just to get the golem and an extra skill point. So you can see there the lightning golems summoned, and it'll give us more damage because of that critical strike chance. So there's two zones here. I'll just quickly show you. So once you get here, there's these two portals, Doresso's Dream there and Calm's Dream. Calm's area is filled with like fire mobs, so make sure your resistances is you know, high. If you could, you know, potentially cap your resistances by now. Doesn't mean you have to, but it's definitely going to help out running through these zones. Yeah, so there's two zones in each of these areas. Calm's Dream is like a two-part, and then Doresso's has the same. And then basically we're trying to defeat the bosses at the end. Basically get something from them, like an item, to open up a third portal for us. So this is actually, yeah, this is a lot more fun than the build that I was playing. We've got a lot more attack speed, which is something I like to play as a fast-paced attack speed character. They just seem to be a lot more enjoyable. The Rain of Arrows would have got a bit more attack speed as we went on, but I've played Rain of Arrows a couple of times before, and I just thought to myself last night, I thought, why don't I try something new, something that I've never done before? So it kind of throws me in the deep end with you guys. So, you know, we're kind of all learning at the same time. I thought it might have been like a better experience for everybody, which it might be. You know, this video will soon tell. But Kinetic Blast is definitely a fun ability. And it's only going to get better as we go through the Ascendancies and we equip returning projectiles. We are looking now for a 5-link. So we've got the 3-link in Act 2, we've got the 4-link in Act 3. Now we're looking for a 5-link. I'm not too sure if they drop in this act. It might be Act 6 onwards. But we could buy one off the trade website. So that is probably what I'll do as soon as we get through this act. Because having returning projectiles should increase our damage. Because obviously if we're bouncing them off walls and stuff, they're going to be returning to us. So it's going to basically have like twice the chance to hit the enemies. Watch out for those ice walls. They can be quite dangerous. Right, let's try and stay alive here. We've got 3 big guys here doing a lot of damage. I'm just going to skip past these. Okay, we're into the next part. Just moving up here, take some more dex nodes. So we're level 39 in a level 38 zone, so we're not too over leveled now, which is good. We've kind of caught up with ourselves. So we've got 2711 damage. If we level up our gem, goes to 28. Yeah, so we're literally just, as we're leveling up, our DPS is just increasing naturally by leveling up our gems. Which obviously it happened with the Rain of Arrows ability, but I don't think it was helping as much with the leveling. Like I said in previous videos, leveling up these blue spell gems seem to be a lot more beneficial. We'll pick up that oiled coat. A lot more beneficial to your damage compared to like melee characters or bow builds where leveling or getting a better item will actually increase your overall damage. Not to say that getting a new item won't increase our damage on this, but we're getting them, you know, the main chunk of our damage from the gem itself. Okay, so we've reached the dead end there. Let's just head back a little bit and go this way. some people might be watching this video and think, oh, you know, it's probably not advised to play this kinetic blast until getting to a higher level maybe, but I literally just tried it on earlier, put on a couple of the skill gems. I just thought, oh yeah, this is definitely what I'm going to be playing now up until the end game. But the end game, God, that's another topic for video part 10 or 11. There's 10 acts, and obviously this is act 4, so we are getting through it one by one. But when we get to act 10, that's when the end game is going to start. And the end game is like the main thing. Oh God, almost died there. Some chaos damage. Anything purple means chaos damage, so be really careful of that. Especially because our chaos resistance is basically 0 at the moment. Yeah, we definitely need mind over matter. Good thing we're heading up towards that way. We need that damage taken from our mana instead of our life. So it takes 40% of your damage. So if you get hit for 100 damage, 40 damage will come from your mana and 60 damage will come from your health. Oh, let's summon our golem again. So yeah, damage isn't crazy good. Oh shit. God, that hurt. Right, let's keep moving. What have I been telling you guys for the past couple of videos? You've got to keep moving. Oh God. Let's try and stand out of these fiery projectiles. That would help, wouldn't it? Right, down here. Nope, now there's fire projectiles there. Right, come on. There we go. We got him. So yeah, this build might not be as good right now as the Rain of Arrows build, but we're just winging it. We're gonna be getting stronger. We're gonna be going through it, so it doesn't actually matter all that much as long as we're able to kill them. What I might look at getting is maybe some new wands, maybe with some more spell damage on them. I'm not exactly too sure if spell damage is going to help. I've got this increased physical damage because it says here that this gem is physical. It says it's attack speed and attack damage. It's not actually a spell. So even though it is a blue gem, it's more of an attack-based gem. It may be that I need to get some different links equipped, or even some different auras. Like I said, I've kind of rushed into this build a little bit. There is probably something that I am missing. So, you know, probably not best to follow exactly the guide that I'm playing, but I will show you through the game and tell you, you know, how to get through the acts. How you get through the acts and what character you will play is completely up to you. And a lot of people watching this, if anybody does watch it, they may not have even been playing the Rain of Arrows build anyway. They may have just been using my guide as a quick, you know, stop to showing you how to get through the campaign instead. So this is similar to the last zone. We're just trying to get through 2 different zones and then defeat the boss at the other side. Let's have a quick... Ooh. Big group of mobs there. It's got really good clear speed, I will give it that. Like, I'm not having to like click anywhere really. I can literally just click right on top of me and everything is just getting destroyed. So, oh, I feel like since I've switched, I think I've lost maybe some evasion rating or something, because I'm getting hit a lot more than I was yesterday. And if anything, I haven't really changed my, you know, if anything, I've gotten better gear because of that chest piece that we equipped yesterday. So there's definitely yeah, there's definitely something gone on with the build in the passive tree, which obviously does show how important those passive tree nodes are. Okay, another dead end. I think it's going to be this way. Yeah, here we go. Little boss here. Nice and easy. picking up still anything that's got the name orb in it. Orbs are really handy. Orb of fusing, orb of chance. I think we've got life flasks already, so we don't need to pick up any life flasks. We seem to be okay. Until we get the next tier of life flask, I think we're not going to even bother. Killed that boss super duper quick. That was easy. Okay. And then here we are going straight into the next zone. So this is part 2, the Grand Arena. So in here, it's a bit like you've got like the tunnels under the arena, and then you've got different like Colosseum type things. So as you run through, you know, I'm going to probably start killing everything as we go. But you get into these big open arenas. You just go ahead and kill everything that's in here. Lovely. Try and get out the way of those strong boxes. Oh, we've got a unique boss there, which is called an EXILE. They have like specific mods that make them a lot stronger. Okay, nicely done. Anyone left? Yeah, still one guy. There we go. Okay, and then we head out the other end, and then you just go through another passageway again. You can go left or you can go right. Completely up to you. And if you look on the right side of my screen, you can see that incubator is 83% complete, that one that I equipped just earlier. Ooh. Try not to die. You can even pop a portal down, so if you do die and you head back to town, at least you can come back to where you started off. Sorry, where you dropped the portal off. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit more squishy. I'm not doing a crazy amount of damage, so I'm just going to put that down just in case. Oop. Yeah, once I defeat this boss, before going into the next zone, I'll quickly show you the trade website. So I've got these 3 bosses here. Watch out for that big red circle. The bigger it expands, the more damage it does. So be very careful, because it can one-shot you. Okay, I'm just going to head back up to the next. Oh, we've missed one of the bosses. There he is. Big melee character there. So he's dead. And then in this next zone, this should be the actual boss of this area. So we've almost got 3,000 DPS at the moment, so it's not bad. But like single target, it's not that great. Oh, actually, it's not actually that bad at all. I think honestly just leveling up these skill gems is just going to massively increase the DPS. Because even though my one ability is a physical ability and it's not really a spell, the other gems that we've got are those blue gems. So the support gems really increase that DPS when we're leveling them up. So we've got to keep this mana up nice and high. That'll be especially true when we go into Mind Over Matter. We're always going to want to keep our mana topped up, because obviously if we're taking damage from our mana as well as our HP, it's going to be like having, you know, your mana potion is going to be essentially like having a life flask. It's going to be topping your mana pool up, which we obviously need to. Identify these boots. They've got nothing. They've got some good dex and good int. What we might even do is see if we can craft some movement speed on those. So we'll go ahead and drop them. Go back to town. And then if you just go back into town now, head back to the Crystal Veins. Hand in the one quest item we just got from Diala. She's going to open the portal into the next zone, the Belly of the Beast. So let's go back to town now and get onto the trading website. Okay, so we're going to go over some Path of Exile trading and how exactly we do it. So we want to try and get some new wands that we're looking for some specific mods like extra spell damage. We're just going to try and see if we can get some extra stats that are going to increase our DPS, because our DPS isn't actually that great, especially for single targets. So we are going to see what we can do. I just want to quickly check. We do have this, which allows us to fire an additional projectile. Yeah, when we hover over our ability, it says it only fires one projectile. So, yeah, we're basically going to have a look and just see if we can do anything. It's just going to get our stats a little bit better. So this is the Path of Exile Trade website. It's quite simple to use. I'll link it in the description below. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to look for a wand. So you come to this item category here. We're just going to type in wand. And then on this side here, this is where you can add stats. So it's got all this list of all the mods that you can get on basically every single item, be it armor, weapon, jewels, gems, maps, anything like that. So we're first looking for spell damage. We can put a value in here as a minimum. So I'm going to go for 60 minimum and just see what shows up. We've got this one here, that's level 59. What I do recommend, obviously, us only being level 41. We will have to come down here to level requirements on the left-hand side, put level 41. And that'll show us some more wands. So we've got some spell damage here, but I want to add another stats line, which is increased critical strike chance. In there we'll just put 20. You'll learn the values as you go. Here we've got a 50 chaos wand, which is quite expensive. I do have the currency to buy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy this to see if the spell damage that we get off this actually increases our DPS. So you just click this button there that said direct message, click that, and it directly messages them in the game in whatever language obviously they speak. I've got an add-on here which shows kind of incoming trades and outgoing trades. This is an add-on that I can also link. It's called PoE Overlay. You can get it through the Overwolf app. It's very simple to use, and you basically just wait for this person to reply. So while that's happening, what we can do is we can open up another trade window. And like I said earlier, we're looking for body armor. So we're going to type in body armor. And down here, we've got the sockets. What we're looking for is links. We're looking for a minimum of 5 links. The colors that we want doesn't matter too much. But if we just put 4 blue and 1, I think it might be green, not red. Yeah, it's a green. So we've got 4 blue there and we want 1 extra green one. So 1 in green. We just hit enter there. It's going to show us all of the 5 links that are very cheap, to be honest. As you can see here, they've got some good stats on. We've got some mana, got some energy shield. We do want something that... Oh, I didn't put the level requirements again. So I obviously opened up a new tab. I forgot to add the level requirements. So 41 being the max level. Here we've got one for 10 chaos orbs. We've got a 6 link there, which we could get just for 10 as well. It adds lightning damage to attacks, increases our energy shield, gives us chaos resistance. I don't see why we wouldn't get that. That's a 6 link for 10 chaos. So again, it's message this person. I'm going to then go to my stash tab. Obviously, at the moment, you may not have this kind of currency to spend on something, but a lot of the times you are just waiting for them to invite you. But it's a very simple method. So we'll go down and we'll just carry on trying to find somebody who's got a chest piece for us. Life, mana, fire and cold resistance. We could do with, you know, start trying to increase our cold resistance or all of our resistances now to try and cap them off. Again, chaos resistance isn't something you want to worry yourself with just yet. But we'll go ahead and message this person here. 19 chaos orbs, so we'll get out another 9. So to drag these out at a certain amount, you just hold shift and click. So we can accept this trade now. If you click on them and you right click visit hideout, or when they're in the hideout you can press that blue little icon there, and then that'll send us straight to their hideout. And this is where trades usually happen. We put the 19 chaos orbs in there, we take the 5 link chest, there we go, and then because I have the PoE overlay app, it actually put shortcuts onto my key binding. So if I just press F5, it'll take me straight back to my hideout. So we didn't get the message for the wand. Give me a second, we'll just have a look here. So we didn't get the message back for the wand, but for the time being we will just apply this. So 2937 is how much DPS we're doing now. Put this in there. It might go lower to, okay, so we've got 3001 DPS now. So we've got a 5 link, which is great. Bear with me a second, just got some in real life stuff happening. So yeah, so we've got the 5 link now, which is great. What we can do is we can just use some armor scrap on there just to increase the energy shield overall. So now we're going to head back to this page, and we're going to alter these stats a little bit, because obviously it doesn't have the only person who's selling the wand with this amount of spell damage and the crit rating is this one person. So we're going to have a look and see if we can find a better wand. So maybe if we put in 70, because there's a lot of wands there that are quite cheap with 60 spell damage. 70 spell damage is the same. We'll put it up to 80, still at 10 chaos orbs, 1 chaos orb. So we'll go for this one here. Attack speed is good, spell damage is great. Let's have a look. What's that? That's 100 odd spell damage, that is. Okay, we'll go for this one. 40 chaos orbs. Is it our level? It is level 40. So we'll grab 2 stacks out and we will just wait. So you can see that sometimes you don't just get any replies, even though you're offering, you know, 40 chaos orbs for an item. Some people obviously just aren't interested, or they might be AFK. We'll go ahead and message. See, that is a really good one, because we are looking for things like added cold damage to spells, attack speed, critical strike chance, and mana. So that's really good. We might just even message him. There, want to buy this wand from you. See if that kind of prompts him to message us back. So now we can sell some stuff, and there we go. He now accepted. So we're going to go visit his hideout. And we'll see if applying this wand to our build is going to increase our DPS overall. It's got a lot of the stats that we like. Let's trade him here. It's got a really nice hideout as well. Got 40 chaos orbs, but we need 131 int to wield it. Let's have a look at his hideout. It's pretty cool, right? Okay, so F5 is going to take me straight back to my hideout. What we can do is 131 int, and we've got 123. So if we can respec 10 int somewhere, let's have a look. What can we just, or if we could actually, let's come here and let's try and add some int to these gloves. So we just need some intelligence. There we go, perfect. So we're going to swap out one of these wands. So we've got 3042. We put that on 4359. So much better wand. What we could do is we could just try and buy 2 of them. I'm just going to resocket these. So I've got 3 sockets now. apply the links in there, a couple of fusings, there we go. And now we can just move our gems over, put that on there, and then I can just put this into my stash now. I will be looking now to just buy another wand as well. So if we can maybe message this person here, which has got some spell damage, or what I can try actually is I can actually try and craft a wand for you, which would be quite I think interesting for you guys to see watching at home. So we'll come over to the vendor in Act 4. You always go, if you're playing through the campaign and you want to buy a gear to upgrade, always go to the most recent act, the highest act that you can go to, because they'll have the highest level things that you want. So we want a spell damage wand like this, 22% or 24%. We're going to remove these modifiers. So we're looking for that top line with the highest number. So 24, 22, 24. So we'll just take this wand here.
Good luck.
Come over to our stash. We're going to scour it off completely so it goes back to a basic wand. We're then going to increase the quality up to 20%. And then if we go to our essences tab, we should have these essences of woe. If you look at this whole line here, all of them on one-handed weapon and two-handed weapon increases spell damage. So I think we'll have to go for this one to level 60 and below. So we'll go ahead, use this Weeping Essence of Woe, rub it on there for some good luck. And we got spell damage, cast speed, lightning resistance. So nothing crazy, but we're not quite finished. We can now head to the hideout, come over to the crafting bench, and see what else we can apply on there. So we've got some lightning damage and lightning damage to spells. Now I'm pretty sure this is obviously not a spell because it's got attack time, not cast time, and in the gem itself it says at the top physical. It's an attack, projectile, AoE, and physical. It's nothing to do with a spell. If you look at something like this, Wrath, it says aura, spell. If you look at this, it says spell, and Frostblink is also a spell. So even though it is blue, it is not a spell. So we'll add lightning damage here, add up to 80 lightning damage, so 3 to 77, that's not bad at all. And we're just going to do that DPS check again. So we're at 4,300. If we put this on, 5,312. So we've gone from 3k damage. Let me just organize these gems again. We need one green gem here, or we could just put this in there, do the old switcheroo. So up to 5,312 DPS. Now we're just going to head back to Act 4's town and carry on questing. So it says that we've got to speak to Diala in town for a reward, and then we're just going to go out and we're going to try and test the DPS. So let's have a quick look, see how we're getting on. So any of these, I don't think I actually need. Returning projectiles, I could have done with that because I literally just bought it. We'll just get the increased AoE. Those spells are only available once you get to this level anyway. So even if you did get them from Ciosa in Act 3 library, you can't actually use them until you get to a higher level. We'll go ahead and put this in a tab here, which is for 5 chaos. If you buy, so if you're wanting to sell anything and you've got a tab, let's say here, if you've got these original tabs, the ones that are brown, if you click on them, this is all it'll show. It's just the affinities. If you've got these tabs, if you click on, you can color them. These are the ones that you purchase from the shop down here. You can actually, let me do it with one that isn't. So if we go on to heist, I right click that, I can set to public here. If I click public, you can set each item individually priced or set exact price on all items. I usually do individually priced, but I do have 2 tabs with that. But you can click that, and then when you right click on this now, you can set an exact price, put 5 chaos orbs, and now that will be up on the trade site within a couple of minutes, and then people can just direct message you, and then when they whisper you, this will be highlighted, and it'll tell you in the message which stash tab is actually in. So it's easy to navigate as well. So let's go ahead and just switch back to this. Okay. All right. So we did have a bit of problems DPS wise with the boss that we had just done a couple of minutes ago. We shouldn't have that same problem now. We've got is that not enough mana? Ah, I've got my wrong ability on. Give me a second. Oh, Spellslinger is equipped to 2 things. Let's take that off. There we go. Had my things a little bit messed up. Bear with me a second. What have I done here? So Spellslinger and Tornado. Give me a second. I don't actually know what's happening with this ability that I've Spellslinger and Tornado. So let's re-equip these. Yeah, I've done something here that's broken my build. Bear with me a moment. I will be back after I fix this. Okay, figured it out. So that was very strange. I don't think I didn't know exactly what was going on, but my Spellslinger here, if I deactivate it by pressing number 4, I'll deactivate it, and you can see it is active because it's reserving a lot of mana, and you can see the little circle indicating that it's working. If I move it up to my wand, for some reason, I can't use it. So I've moved it onto my armor here, and I can equip it freely. So if that is happening for any of you guys, that's the reason why. So now the damage should be a lot more favorable for me now. Could do with some help on the defenses, but at the moment I seem to be okay. The projectiles now are just bouncing all over the screen, so that's exactly what we wanted. Yeah, we're doing some good damage. So we're in this zone now. This is called the Belly of the Beast level 1. It's just basically after we've unlocked the 2 bosses that we fought, which is Comb and Duresso. They unlock this zone, and they're basically trying to get us through to defeat the next area boss, which is the final boss of Act 4. Now, you're probably watching it. Act 4 isn't a hugely long act at all. It's actually one of the smaller ones. So we're almost through this, and it's been about 48 minutes that I've been recording for. I did take a little break in between. But yeah, we've gone through some of the crafting stuff now and some of the trade stuff. You will end up using trade quite a lot when you're playing Path of Exile. It's a very handy tool to use, considering it just gives you really big upgrades, and you can get them often quite cheap. You don't have to spend like the 40, 50 chaos, or about 80 chaos that I've spent today. You can actually sometimes just spend 2 or 3 chaos, and it's going to get you a big upgrade. A lot of the times you want to get a new belt or you want to get new boots. That is usually a good place to start. But also the crafting options in this game are absolutely sick. Alright, let's destroy these, see how quickly we can do this. Yeah, damage is really nice now. Like I said, we're at about 5k now, 5,700 with everything activated, all of our buffs. So I don't feel like we're going to have any problem. But we know what we're looking for now on our stats for the wands. We're looking for things like spell damage, critical strike chance, attack speed, not cast speed. So cast speed is only good for casting spells. Attack speed is for all other abilities that aren't a spell. And obviously, if you're playing, like, if you're from another game, like World of Warcraft, I do seem to mention World of Warcraft a lot because it's quite a relatable game that a lot of people have played, or at least heard about. But in that game, you've got warriors that use rage, you've got rogues that use energy, and, it's usually only spell casting types that will actually use mana. But in this game, everybody uses mana. Oh, this guy hits hard. Just trying to stay away. This guy does do a lot of damage, and he does like a big cone here. So you really want to stay out of the cone. Just kind of keep running around him. If you stay close, you've got more time to attack because you don't have to run as much. You can also just dash through his abilities if you've got a movement skill, which you should do at this point. If you don't have a movement skill, definitely go back and grab one. So we're going to grab some elemental resistances, some armor, and evasion. So we're now capped 75 on all three. So at level 42, you could potentially be fully capped. And you should probably as well have a life flask that gives you an instant recovery. So we can go over some life flasks maybe towards the end of the video, or even in the next video, we can go through life flasks and kind of some stats that you should go for. Into Act 5 and 6, you'll start getting utility flasks, which don't give mana, they don't give HP, but what they do is they give you some sort of utility. Like we've got our Quicksilver flask, which gives us movement speed. You can get flasks that give you critical strike chance, evasion rating, armor, and things like that. And some of them are really, really powerful, especially early on. Like getting an armor, it's called a granite flask. If you can get a granite flask early on, it's actually really, really strong. Yeah, once this guy gets put in the corner, the damage is nuts. I think it's like, you know, when it's got nowhere to throw the abilities, but in that small area, I think it's doing a lot more damage. But damage is absolutely fine, to be honest. You know, it's taking a couple of clicks, and it's more about the speed and what we're able to do here. I like playing a fast build, so if you like playing a fast build too, obviously a bow character is a really fast build to play, but also this spell slinger. And this can be a league starter. I might even make a video about it as a league starter if anybody is interested in that. So just let me know in the comment section down below. And if you fancy it, I can make a league starting video for anyone who is starting out fresh, or even for the next league whenever it comes up. You know, I'm not a pro or anything. I'm not amazing at the game, but what I can do is I can do a lot of research on this particular build, and I can put together quite a good video for you guys. Ooh, God, that hit me hard. So yeah, I'm definitely lacking on a bit of evasion and maybe some health actually. Just trying to stay moving with my Quicksilver flasks. I've got some life leech, but he just seems to be destroying me. Is he getting stronger? God, why don't we just leave him? Don't stand in the big blue things, they will kill you. Yeah, bosses still definitely seem to be a problem, even with our increased damage. They could just be some bosses with some really, well, some rares with some really good mods on them. Some mods, you know, some rares have like increased life, reduced damage from like lightning or certain things like that. So some things may seem like really difficult to fight, and it is just the mods that they've got. It doesn't mean your build is not worth playing or you're not doing enough damage. It just means that one mob was obviously like punching quite a bit. So we'll summon our lightning golem again, and this gives us increased attack speed. So yeah, 5,790 DPS, and we can definitely upgrade a lot of our equipment here. Just go ahead and see what the damage is like. Look at that. Really good damage. And then we've just got to kill Piety. And then he's going to open his HP pool back up in a minute. So just go ahead and kill him. Sometimes this health bar bugs, even though it's like highlighted like that, you can still do damage to him. And then Piety, let's just finish you off. So that's like phase 1 of this fight. Phase 2 is a little bit more difficult. You just got to try and stay away from his tentacles. If you see the tentacles coming out of his face, don't stand in front of him. Just try and keep your distance or stand behind him. Once the first part's done, we head into the black heart, and we've got 3 hearts here. One this side, one at the top right, and one at the top left. He'll get to a certain HP point, and then he'll open these hearts, and we've just got to destroy them to be able to kill him. So go ahead and just bust out some damage real quick. Oh, stand out of the tentacles. And there we go. He's gone to the first heart. Go ahead and destroy that. Nice and easy. Stay out of the red circles on the floor as well. And then he'll start teleporting. So if you see him teleport, just move out of the way. He's not very fast. The cast time is quite slow, so you don't really have anything to worry about. As long as you can see when he's doing it, and that's all that matters. So I definitely need some more crit on this build, because I can see that sometimes when I'm critting, I'm doing big amounts of damage. But until I crit, I'm actually doing, like, you know, not a crazy amount. Let's use my Quicksilver Flask. Yeah, and also a good thing to use defensively is your Quicksilver Flasks. You know, you can use them at any point in the game. It doesn't have to be when you're just running through zones. Oh, watch out for this red ring. Don't let it capture you. Got him on the ropes now. Not long to go. And there we go. That's him done. Don't worry, the explosion won't kill you here. Can't stand right underneath it. Ooh, lovely. That's what we like to see. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they do a portal for you. So head back to Highgate now. So that was the last boss of Act 4. We're going to talk to Tasuni, and we're now going to go through the last exit in town, which you haven't been through yet. So you head up here, and it says ascend, access to the ascent from the eastern side of Highgate. So you come over here, click on the ascent, and we've just got 1 or 2 more zones to get into Act 5 town. Let's go ahead and go there. It feels so smooth when I'm out here killing mobs. I don't have to target anything. I literally just click and go, click and go, click and go. Yeah, the damage isn't bad at all, even against those rares. And the good thing about this ability, it opens like urns and stuff that you'd usually have to click on to open. So if you do have any currency drops out of them, you actually get them without having to actually clear, which is good. A Crimson Jewels I haven't talked about yet. We can go over that in a little bit, but we don't really have any jewels until a little bit later on, to be honest. When you're finalizing your skill tree, that's when you're going to start adding some jewels into your... oh, almost froze there. Into your build. But you can't sleep on jewels. They are absolutely insane. Some of them do so much for you. So we just got some spell suppression. Spell suppression basically is a stat that reduces the amount of damage, or if you will be hit by a spell itself. So I've got spell damage suppression chance at 28%. I just took this node, so if I get rid of that, I'm at 13%. I take that, it goes up to 28%. So that one node is really, really good for me. Yeah, this build's going to be so fun when I get into endgame. I cannot wait. The thing is, a lot of builds don't really come together all that good until you get into endgame. So some of the builds that you might be following online, it might look absolutely sick when you're looking at the videos on YouTube, or you're looking at the build guides or whatever, and you're seeing the damage. But then you're playing it through the acts and you're thinking, what the, this ain't even the build that I wanted. I'm firing less projectiles. My damage isn't the same. My movement speed is not the same. You've just got to get to the end game. And that's just getting through these first 10 acts, which, if you've been following along so far, I've probably played... I've left myself logged on a lot of the time, so I can't... If I show you my slash played, it's going to be longer than what it is. But the recordings that I've got, my first... this would be the 4th video now. You can actually see how long I've spent on the acts. It's not a very long game at all. So it's definitely worth, putting... You could get to Act 10 in one day, easily, if you know what you're doing. Yeah. So, we're currently now in Act 5. So that was, honestly, just such an easy act. It takes less than an hour. and I did like a bit of crafting and a bit of crafting and a bit of buying. So, oh, look at this. That's actually really good. We get 15% increased lightning damage. We get attack speed and attack speed while dual wielding, which we are. So if we equip that, we'd get 8% attack speed. Let me just show you how this works. You've got little dual sockets around here. What we'll do is we'll try and free up a node somewhere. Why don't we free up... I'll free up this node here, the elemental resistance and evasion rate, and it's fine. I'll get it back in a minute. So let's check my damage. We've got 3,752. If I put this, so you press P to bring up your passive skill tree, press I to bring your inventory up. We've got 3.7. If we put this in here, it goes up to 4,020. Obviously, when we go out into the zone itself, it's going to increase with all of the auras that we've got. So we're now up to 6,713. So even faster attacks again. And yeah, this is just a really good build. But we are looking now to try and build some life and some evasion into our builds, which we are really slacking on at the moment. But we'll get to that in Act 5. So yeah. Cool, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're, especially if you've got this far through the video, you're all the way at the end. I would love it if you can just subscribe, try and get those numbers up for me so I can just carry on making these videos because I'm really enjoying doing it, especially this build guide and this walkthrough. So yeah, cool. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.